a little bit of political instability. Anyways, I gave you Trump Memecoin. Coinbase offers Bitcoin-backed loans. Inauguration inside for the first time in 40 years because of an anomaly of climate. LOL. And GDP outlook and fire aid lineup and who needs a second job just to survive in the good old United States of America. It's Ricker, it's Bon, it's your favorite show, telling you to have a good day, rate 5 stars on iTunes, and subscribe on YouTube, Ricker and Bon on Instagram, and I was going to do a Chinese accent and try to say Ricker and Bon. And there's multiple Chinese dialect accents everybody knows these facts. Find us on Red Note. We love all countries. Thank you for listening. Have a good one.
Oh baby, when the sun is fall, we will rise as a bell.
Listen, there's no Bon, so I really gotta tap into the hot audience with a Dave Matthews. Dave Matthews is the soccer Apple TV show. What's the soccer Apple TV show? That's what happens with your brain. There's some kind of phenomenon where it forgets it. Ted Lasso. Dave Matthews for sure in the Ted Lasso genre. It's Ricker, it's Bon. Bon, unfortunately, was arrested for doing a bunch of arson in the Los Angeles area in the beginning of January 2025. Let's see if the big lawyers can get him out of this. I'm hoping that the litigation will go his way, right? We got a podcast to so many people. We got headlines for you that I want to clip up and put on Instagram to get viral, freaking sick hits. First story. 1 day ago, January 17th, actually January 18th, today, a Trump meme coin was unleashed onto a society of unwilling folks. The official Trump website, I'll say that later. January 28th, President-elect Donald Trump introduced a new cryptocurrency meme coin named Trump, Trump. Went from a couple cents to $30 within a few hours. Announced it on Truth Social and Twitter. And I want to go through some stats, some liquidity stats of this. Absolutely, I think might be the weirdest / semi-despicable thing to have a freaking... Okay, people anti-insider trading, anti-printing of the USD inflationary, yet okay with minting a random meme coin to just mint millions of dollars for an executive level president in the United States with a burgeoning decade-old digital asset industry. Sick, dude. Anyways, what's there is there, so an asset's an asset. Trump launched with $50 million in initial liquidity and sourced from Trump affiliate entities CIC Digital and Fight LLC. This is basically Grand Theft Auto storyline. The liquidity pool is primarily maintained on Solana-based decentralized exchanges such as Orca and Radium. Within 24 hours of launch, trading volumes exceeded $1 billion. Total supply of 1 billion tokens. Initial circulating supply was 200 million tokens, 20%. Reserved by Trump entities is 80%, with a 3-year vesting schedule, which is pretty interesting, to reduce market flooding risks. CIC Digital LLC and Fight LLC collectively control over 800 million tokens. The top 10 wallets hold approximately 92% of all the tokens. So there's your decentralization that went out the door when freaking BlackRock and Goldman went in. Remaining 80 million tokens in circulation are distributed across an estimated 250,000 unique wallets. Retail be popping up in there. The average retail holding is about 320 tokens per wallet, about $5,000 at current prices. So hella centralized. The liquidity pool is a bunch of Trump random LLCs on but you can find it. You're a smart boy. Emphasizes the token is intended as a symbol of support for Trump's ideals and is not designed as an investment vehicle. There's nothing that says support for ideas more than a non-invested, a token that's not an investment vehicle. The disclaimer states Coin is not intended to be or the subject of an investment opportunity, investment contract, or security of any type. So that's going to be fun to see who's in the SEC in a couple days. Goes right off into the next thing after the head of an executive branch launched at Memecoin. Coinbase offers Bitcoin-backed loans. Coinbase now offering users the ability to borrow up to $100,000 in USDC stablecoins by pledging Bitcoin as collateral. So you can get a loan for $100,000 if you say, "Hey, if I don't pay this back, I'll give you my Bitcoin." This service is facilitated by DeFi platform Morpho on Coinbase blockchain. That's very interesting. It gives more, I wouldn't say legitimacy, but potential info on the Coinbase blockchain. Provides liquidity without selling Bitcoin. The service does, but it comes with risk of liquidation. So what? How can loans be liquidated? Coinbase's service requires additional capital or liquidation of Bitcoin holdings when the value of the loan exceeds 86% of the value of the Bitcoin held as collateral. Available to U.S. Coinbase users exclusively here on direct. Bitcoin pledged as collateral is converted into Coinbase Wrapped BTC. Coinbase's Wrapped Bitcoin. Coinbase Wrapped BTC is deposited into a Morpho smart contract on the Base blockchain, allegedly securing the loan. The LTV ratio, the loan-to-value ratio, measures the amount borrowed relative to the collateral's value. So if you pledge $10,000 worth of Bitcoin and borrow $5,000, your LTV, your loan-to-value ratio, is 50% because you have borrowed half of Bitcoin that pledged to on the line. If the Bitcoin price drops and your $10,000 collateral falls to $8,000, your LTV rises to 62.5%. Coinbase, like I said, requires borrowers to maintain a loan-to-value ratio of 86%. A little rundown on loan-to-value ratio. If LTV exceeds this threshold, Coinbase will pay part or all from the collateral for a loan total penalty. Getting a little hot. A couple things getting hot. Getting freaking credit pumping into the crypto ecosystem. Getting weird ass executive branch making a meme coin. Liquidation risk. Some tax uncertainty. Converting Bitcoin to Bitcoin-based wrap might be considered a taxable event unless Trump Eco says there's no capital gains. I don't know if it would be capital gain on crypto. Unsure if it's capital gain if you do token-to-token swap. Clarity from regulators, which is actually kind of one thing that is coming out of all the weird hot crypto market stuff of getting weirder and weirder with credit willy-nilly, is you might actually have some defined regulation in the crypto space, which is what people have been asking for the past 4 years. Morpho, if Morpho's screwed, then everyone else is screwed. I'm not sure of the safety nets Coinbase would have if the DeFi platform they use gets absolutely wrecked like a lot of the other DeFi platforms have in the past. And regulation stuff. Coinbase plans to extend the service to other cryptocurrencies, potentially making it a broader tool for crypto-backed financing. So, Coinbase, Bitcoin-backed loans, risk liquidation. People are learning what loan-to-value ratio is. Fun stuff. Next up, maybe should have done this after the first headline, but for the first time in 40 years, a presidential inauguration in the United States of America will be inside. President-elect Donald Trump's 2025 inauguration is going inside because people don't want to stand outside in negative 10 degree Fahrenheit weather. Arctic blast, fires are raging because of cold, dry atmosphere over in Los Angeles is getting the opposite effect and basically everywhere west of like LA and Colorado is feeling freaking freezing. Forecast on this inauguration day in a couple days is 19 degrees Fahrenheit. So only 220,000 ticketed guests can access the Capitol Rotunda. And the switch is going to the Capital One Arena, which is 20,000 people, will host a rally and provide viewing screens for supporters. So I actually think instead of the whole Capitol Rotunda, they're doing a less amount of people. Capitol Rotunda, I don't know if that's the accessible thing, but Trump inauguration going indoors, parade, unspecified indoor format. They're freaking going willy nilly. He's like, "Yo, I'm doing a meme coin, dude. I'm trying to get some millions on this next inauguration." William Henry Harrison's speech in 1841 led to pneumonia, making his presidency the shortest in U.S. history, which is telling you that cold inaugurations aren't new. They're going to have to figure out security and all that stuff with a new indoor inauguration for the president-elect Donald Trumpito. Next headline, ChatGPT is getting personal with custom traits and nicknames. OpenAI's ChatGPT now offers a revamped custom instructions menu, allowing users to assign traits like chatty or Gen Z, customize interaction styles, and even specify nicknames. This feature, part of ChatGPT's revolution, enhances stuff, is what they wanted me to say on the script, but I won't. Update will extend to mobile macOS apps in the coming weeks, but is unavailable in EU countries, Norway, Iceland, Liechtenstein, because everybody knows where Liechtenstein is, and Switzerland, but it is starting on ChatGPT.com and going to Windows desktop users. Get wrecked, you Apple nerds. So you can specify preferred nickname or profession for the AI that's talking, add personal preferences or important details, or the chatbot traits like chatty, encouraging, or Gen Z for tailored interactions. The new interface builds on the existing custom instructions feature using prompt engineering to guide ChatGPT style and tone. Users provide input through an intuitive, user-friendly, blah, blah, blah. Traits differ from ChatGPT's memory feature. The memory feature is when you type something in, you're like, yo, remember to make this format. And so the memory feature explicitly remembers or forgets user-provided information, but traits only affect interaction style and do not permanently store user data. So while a preference for data happens, or memory features literally about you as a user, and you see like, yo, I'm 22 and from Rwanda. But this is interaction style. ChatGPT, 300 million weekly users as of December 2024. Canvas, terms of service, etc., etc. Some other quick and dirty stats. Along with side of China, who said their GDP is forecasted for 5%, but I don't think that's real. I think that's nominal, if I'm correct. The IMF? Yes, the IMF. The IMF projects the U.S. gross domestic product from 2.2% being raised to 2.7% growth is what the IMF is projecting for the United States, alongside some other countries. let's see what we got in 2025. Top is the United States at 2.7, and this is real GDP, not nominal. China. I should also talk about Red Note after. Canada, 2. Other advanced economies, 2.1. So advanced economies, which is Euro, Japan, UK, Canada, according to the IMF, looking for 1.9 estimate in 2025, 1.8 in 2026. 2024 was an estimate of 1.7. So projecting up and then a little bit down. World output 3.2 and 3.3 respectively for 25 and 26. Biggest emerging market GDP projections is China, coming in at 4.8, 4.6, and 4.5 in 2024, 25, 26. India 6.5, 6.5, 6.5. We like consistency. Russia 3.8 in 24, 1.4 in 25, 1.2, 26. Brazil's beating Mexico, Saudi Arabia, going from 1.4 in 2024 to 3.3 and 4.1 projection GDP growth in the next 2 years. This is growth, yes. Sub-Saharan Nigeria, 3.1 in 2024, 3.2 and 3.0 next 2 years. South Africa, 0.8, 1.5, 1.6. IMF telling you some numbers with World Economic Outlook growth projections. Now, Bonjen, what if I told you that there's 5 professions most likely to have a side hustle? What would you think those are? I don't know, Ricker. Let's see. Yeah, let me cut you off right there, Bon. I'll tell you. Starting with number 5, this is from LinkedIn. 31% of U.S. employees have side hustles alongside their main jobs. According to LinkedIn's latest workforce confidence survey, there's 5 areas that are most likely to have multiple jobs. Number 5, marketing. Number 4 is education. Number 3, media and communications. 2, arts and design. And 1 is biz dev, dude. Your sales homies definitely are also on, I was about to say Carvana, but they're also on Uber Eats, etc., etc. So kind of job areas that you would maybe guess don't have enough income. Marketing, education, whatever communications is, like a reporter that does stuff every 4 days. Clip it up. Nearly a third of U.S. employees have side hustles. Fire aid, which may or may not have been started via arsonogenic efforts of one Bonjen, on January 30th in the Kia Forum in LA and in the Intuit Dome, home of the Los Angeles, formerly San Diego Clippers. There's a Fire Aid benefit concert, fireaidla.org. Netflix, Amazon, Paramount Global, Apple Inc., and Warner Bros. Are all going to be streaming it. Part of a consortium, more than a dozen companies. Concert will also be shown in select AMC theaters and made available on the radio and music streaming sites. This sounds like Farm Aid. There's been many videos I've seen of people doing a Farm Aid concert. In the cancer aids too, cancer and AIDS aid I've seen before. The lineup for Fire Aid LA benefit concert in alphabetical order. I will skip the people I don't think are that cool. Billie Eilish and Phineas, Dave Matthews and John Mayer, pretty sick. That might have been a subconscious thing of me playing Dave Matthews. Earth, Wind, and Fire, don't know Gracie Abrams, Green Day, Gwen Stefani, Jelly Roll, Joni Mitchell, Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, Lil Baby Pink, Red Hot Chili, Rod Stewart, Stephen Stills, Stevie Nicks, Sting, and Tate Canada McRae. TikTok banned like an hour ago. The Biden administration said, hey, we're going to let you do whatever you want to do with this Trumpito administration. The notification if you went on the TikTok app in the United States said, "Oh, we're for sure down." Next paragraph, though, we also thank Trump for letting us, working with us, which is kind of a weird thing to say on a app shutdown, but I guess it was country specific, so you can kind of say that. Um, People have been going to another app called Red Note, which is if TikTok was on underneath the surface of Chinese asset, at least in terms of data, Red Note is literally asking cats to be like, "Yo, are you down with Chinese communism? We're going hard over here at Red Note. CCP all day. What's up?" And then there's little, I'm assuming kids, and like probably the cap is 24-year-olds that are on Red Note posting. I think it's similar interface. I haven't used it, but if you went on top of the App Store rankings, you'd see a Chinese letter #1, and that is Red Note. Why don't people go to Triller or something else? Instagram, perhaps? Maybe because they have bad economic incentives. Triller was an alternative. Lemon 8, I feel like, is a thing I've seen that's more of a Gen Z thing. But yeah, probably young people fleeing TikTok, not deciding to go to another United States social media, but instead going into a Chinese red app that makes you pledge allegiance to their Chinese constitution. Cool. uh, so everybody gets addicted to a TikTok Chinese app. It gets rug pulled. People fled to an even more Chinese thing. Could the same thing happen with uh, uh, the same mechanism? Let's say if Chinese state made a Bitcoin, perhaps. Something to think about, Bonjen. What else do I got? I think that's freaking it. Everybody killed DEI because a new cat came in and they're freaking anti-DEI and they want the laws to be on their side. Or they're like, also, we could save money by cutting these programs and we want to make a bunch more money by cutting hella people and say it's AI and DEI. Advertising on TikTok probably be weirder. You'd think it goes into Reels and YouTube, but it's probably not as easy to make money on Instagram for sure. YouTube, most people that found TikTok success probably won't find that. Yeah, you got to go elsewhere. What else do I got? Companies and fire stuff. I'll talk about fires later. There's something in Pakistan going on that I've been fed. 200 million corruption case.